What's up? What's up? Give me a thumbs up in chat if you can hear me. Happy Friday. Happy Mega Evolution release day. It has been a hot minute since I've done a live stream. I don't know if Friday night is the way to go, but we'll see. Again, hit me up in chat. Let me know if you can hear me, if the music's too loud, if it's too soft. We're going to go through Mega Evolution tonight, see how it's going. Chill Friday night stream. It has been 8 months or so, at least, since I've done a live stream. AS, thank you. Let me know if that music's too loud or if you can't hear it. The whole background music thing's kind of weird. Yeah, Mega Evolution release day. I opened a booster bundle today with the kids. What's up, Barb? And what did we get? Let me see what my daughter got here. Let me see if I can pull it up. There's some screwiness going on with TCG Player today. Oh, 60. We opened a $60 bundle. But hey, you got to do some ripping, right? You got to do some ripping. You can't just sit back on the sidelines. So where's the Gardevoir? Oh, there it is. It wasn't showing earlier. Okay. Maybe it's not screwy. So what did my daughter get? Let me go to cards here. She pulled one of these ultra rares. Mega Absol EX. Good looking card. I love what they did with all the other rares in this set outside of the texture they kind of put on the foils. It looks really good. Really good. Fun to open. We're going to look at pricing and everything tonight. You know how it is. This is kind of odd looking at pricing and release day. Really got to wait a few days for things to kind of settle in. So, but I'm loving the set so far. That Mega Latias is really, that's a good looking card. Really good looking card. And then these Mega Ultra Rares, I think they are, right? Kind of the hollow, I don't know what you want to call it, hyper rare, but this and the Gardevoir just, the way they did, this is definitely the way to go for this type of card. Instead of doing the consistent foiling across there, just breaking it up. When you have a monochromatic card like that, you really got to break it up. Yeah, Barb, I got my my Pokemon Center ETBs today too. We only got I got the bundles, and I got one bundle, one booster box, and the 2 Pokemon Center ETBs. I came real close to opening that booster box today. I gotta hide it or something because it's just a good looking set, and it's been a while since I really wanted to rip into a set on release day, so I was really happy. And they came in, they were not damaged. That's always the concern with Pokemon Center product coming in is they don't like to use packing material. The other thing to look out for when you're buying Pokemon Center booster boxes from the Pokemon Center is they tend to, when they're opening the box, the master case, you'll get that cut, that ever so slight cut across the top when they open the box, because again, they just do not care. Yes, that sucks. And they don't, last time that happened to me, they don't do anything about it. If it doesn't affect the cards in the box, they won't do crap. Sucks, but hey, Rookie Rivas, hope all is well. Yeah, it's, life's lifing, but we keep going. You are defined by the hard times, by the, you're defined by the hard times. So, but yeah, we're doing good. I figured, Friday night, got the night to myself. Let's do a live stream. See how many people we get. We get 10 viewers so far. I hope everyone's doing well. I apologize for the lack of videos. I'm going to try to get more consistent here. There's a fine line when you're making YouTube videos, or making any kind of content, especially myself. I try to put out what I'm passionate about. And when you get crap going on, it's just the passion kind of falls away a bit, but it's coming back. And we're going to try to get some consistency here, get some time this weekend. So I try to get ahead of videos. I try to have some in the bank, talking about things that are not necessarily price specific or time specific. So I can kind of drop that. I feel better about having a couple in the bank, and that leaves me some room. If something pops up, I can kind of throw in, interrupt that video, put the others on the back burner. So Mega Latias is a sleeper. Is it a sleeper, or is that that's the card? I'm sorry, but that's the card in the set for me. I was a Lucario versus Venusaur guy, but this Mega Latias that's a sick looking card. Great job. That's my I think that's my chase. So again, the Mega Lucario, and I'd be happy with a Mega Ultra Rare too. My booster box had a small rip. ETBs were minty. Man, sorry guys, it sucks. I can tell you, if my booster box came in with a rip on it, it would I'd have 36 less packs and 1 less booster box tonight. I can guarantee you that. So the kids and I, we opened the 1 Mega Evolution bundle. I pulled that Mega Absol. My daughter pulled that Mega Absol, so I was happy for her. And then we ripped into, this is the danger of investing or collecting, right? Especially the bundles, because there's, to me, it's seen as the product to rip, right? I'd rather rip that than premium collections or anything, booster boxes or ETBs, right? So I went downstairs, I grabbed a Black Bolt, White Flare bundle, and then a Prismatic bundle, and we just did some ripping tonight. You just got to enjoy it sometimes. It's, yeah, you're seeing money down the drain, but man, when you can get, especially teenage kids, get them involved in something like that together where they're excited and just the house is filled with like, oh, and they're excited for each other and everything. And then they go get their binder and they put everything in a sleeve and put it in their binder. Just can't put a price. I mean, you can put a price on it, but you really can't put a price on it. So, yeah, so it was a good day. It was a good day opening cards. But this is a phenomenal looking set. Very strong start. Mega Gardevoir. I said in my video this week, talking about, I mean, even these ultra rares, they're gorgeous. The way they do, the way they kind of, instead of just leaving that textured foil for the SIRs, just kind of expanding it out of the SIR category and give some texture and some depth to some of these other cards, it really makes them pop. It really does. It's just a great set. Like Gardevoir is the best artwork, best Gardevoir there is, I think, hands down. I'm not a huge fan of most of the Gardevoir artwork, but that looks good. I'm Tom on opening. I don't know. Torn on opening the ETB with the rip on it. I want to, but I don't know at the same time. I'm hoping for a second round of ETB drops in PC so I can get another, maybe sell the one with the rip in it. Yeah. We don't know if we're going to get a second round. This has kind of fallen, the consistency there and that pattern has kind of fallen apart. We didn't get a release day drop today. We got Mega Charizard UPC this week, which is sick. I was able to snag one. I'll talk about that in a minute. I should do a video on that. We did not get drops of these. So I think what happens with that is, I think it's a bandwidth issue with the Pokemon Center. Remember, ETBs, they're probably kicking themselves for making ETBs like, they're just elevated versus like Sword and Shield, right? The people, they're sought after now. I can tell you, they're probably kicking themselves with all the crap they put in the ETBs. I've said this before, all the dice and everything, the counters, the sleeves, the dividers, all that crap, and then that heavy cardboard. They're packed by hand. I don't know if you know this. If you've ever seen a video of them packing ETBs, they're packed by hand. So there's a lot of constraints. I work in manufacturing. I actually work in print manufacturing, so I know quite a bit about this stuff. Theory of constraints. Labor is always going to be a constraint, both from a cost and time standpoint. And I can guarantee you, I think they're probably, I think there's other constraints out of just producing cards in order to get ETBs to market. And I think the constraints we see with regular ETBs and PC ETBs, right, they're the same. So I think my guess is maybe there's some waves of ETBs in the pipeline coming. So maybe we'll get some restocks of, what did we miss out on? It was Black Bolt, White Flare. We didn't get a release date drop, I think, right? So that maybe we'll get another one. Like Prismatic, we got several opportunities. So what do you do? I said this in my kind of plan of attack video for Mega Evolution this week. Do you just go to the secondary market and grab them? You kind of have to make that determination. I mean, Mega Evolution, Pokemon Center boxes, would it surprise you, your gut reaction in 5 years for these to be worth $400 or $500? Probably not. So do you go to the market and pick it up at $200? I'm surprised how few there are on the market today. With how easy money it is, $60, you turn it into $205, or 170 after fees and shipping and everything. Do you wait for and hope for that Pokemon Center ETB when the pattern has fallen off, right? Or do you go to the market and just get a guarantee, maybe pick up the Lucario one or dollar cost average? Remember, the price on these is probably not going to be as low as it is today, right? We know that's right, because the supply is going to start to dry up. I shouldn't say that. I'd probably say within the next few days, because people are still getting them. So there's some folks that won't list them until they get them. So maybe by Monday, probably by Monday, as much supply as ever is going to exist is probably going to hit the market. So maybe wait until Monday, see what happens. $200. I don't know. All right, back to the chat. Alpha Collectibles, just sleeves and mini tins at our local Walmarts. Would have liked some ETBs, but sleeves still amazing. Yeah, absolutely. Both for cracking as well as holding on to. I love sleeved packs for holding on to. Absolutely love them. They carry, I've made so much money on the Evolving Skies packs. It's not even funny. They're fantastic. And they carry a premium versus regular packs. Slips. I would love more Destined PC ETBs. Hands down, those are automatic buys. Reminder, channel sponsor, Sleeve TCG. If you're looking to get it, everyone in the chat probably already knows the spiel. We got to throw it out there, though. If you're looking to get those sweet Pokemon Center drops, get in there early. This is a good plug for Sleeved. Speed matters. And so the Mega Charizard Ultra Premium Collection, instant buy, right? That's an easy one. So I got the notification. I got in so early, I beat the queue. So when the product dropped on the website, it was already in there. I didn't have to queue up or anything. I didn't have to go through security. I got it in my cart, checked out. Again, like, it just pays for many, many months of Sleeved. There was a lot of those Mega Charizard boxes that drop held on for quite a while. I was hearing some rumors about millions of them. I don't know if I believe that, but I don't believe that. But it was the numbers of products on the Pokemon Company website in terms of the volume is a lot bigger than it used to be. A lot bigger. I think they're just taking that lion's share of the product and essentially distributing it through the website because they can control it more, right? They can control it more in a lot of ways. In every way, they're making more money from it, right? So, let's see what else from Mega Evolution. Booster box prices here. So, I was actually surprised going to the enhanced booster box here. So we're seeing 1,100 boxes here. Obviously a massive uptick. I think what we're going to do, so I did scrape sales data earlier in the week. I don't know why I did that. I should have waited because we want to get Mega Evolution in there. So the question is, there's a fine line. Do we start looking at that data now, or do we wait until the question on Mega Evolution, which goes back to my thesis I talked about this summer, is do we see the money shift forward to Mega Evolution than Phantasmal Flames? And what happens to the premier sets from Scarlet and Violet, like Destined Rivals, Surging Sparks, Prismatic, that have been typically for the past 8 to 10 months really been soaked? That's where most of the money's been going, hands down. Do we see that shift, or do those things become they're evergreen, meaning people just continue to buy them regardless? So that's a question. Mega Evolution is a really strong start. Phantasmal Flames looks good, looks really good. So, and I missed out. I kicked myself. I missed out on the Pokemon Center ETB drop for Phantasmal Flames. I was traveling. I've gotten burned so many times. I got lucky on Destined Rivals because we had multiple pre-release drops. Or was it a release day drop where I was able to snag one? But yeah. But that's how it goes. But this is, it'll be very interesting to see. And even 151 hasn't held a candle to Prismatic, but it's still, from a price appreciation standpoint, blowing just about everything there is out of the water, other than maybe Destined Rivals booster boxes. But yeah, so enhanced booster box, and the enhanced card, the Bulbasaur from this I think was going for about $30 earlier. That's a really strong card. As those hit the market, that would be one, if you're going to spec, if you like specking on singles, that's probably one to spec on. That, I mean, with it being a scene card that lines up with two other cards, the only one comes from booster box. You can kind of time it out where, people are cracking the booster box. So for the next 2 weeks, keep an eye on the price of that single, right? As that flood of supply hits the market, brings the price down, there could be some spec opportunity. I think it's definitely a lot stronger of a box topper than what we got with Ends for Shiram and Journey Together. So I'm going to do a Journey Together, if I can spell it right, Journey Together video this weekend. I think it's kind of the forgotten set right now. And then let's take a look at, if you're not familiar, if you're looking at set data, always go to pokedata.io, fantastic website where you can see set values here. Yeah, so still a pretty dismal $644 set value for Journey Together, which is pretty low. That supply just hit the market, single supply hit the market and just kept prices depressed. Yeah, it is solid. It's just, I don't think the booster box price is commensurate with the set value right now and the supply that's on the market. And then the question, of course, are we going to get reprints for this? The booster box reprints have been so incredibly scarce outside of Surging Sparks that I just like Destined Rivals. We've seen no more waves. I don't know. Solid set, but again, the question is, do you 250? So 250 is like more. Is that more than Surging Sparks right now? Like that's where I'd still be putting my money. I mean, you have to have some kind of thesis for what you're buying. Oh, Surging Sparks. Whoa, where did that come from? Wow, pushed up to $300 with that much supply on the market. That's surprising. Yeah, that's really surprising. Interesting. Yeah, we're still in a market that just really could run away from us. Really could. I thought for a while that maybe they, switching to a new era, they could go back and print some stuff. There's booster boxes for Scarlet and Violet are just going to keep running away. I think there's still risk for ETBs and bundles if you're hoping to make a ton of money on them. But man, the market is so strong. There's just no headwind. There's so many people. Just this has gone on for so long. Now you got people who came in maybe early 2025 who are like, hey, I can make money on this. And then typically what happens in that time period is the undulations in the market are such that it flushes people out, people who don't know what they're doing. People are like, crap, I bought this on a credit card. Now I'm upside down. It hasn't happened. It just keeps the market keeps reinforcing itself. And it just becomes, if I had to guess, more and more speculative. I got no real way to prove that out. No one does. But again, my concern is always, it's a concern, but I've been proven wrong time and time again, is, if we have a headwind, if we have a stinker, I shouldn't even say a stinker of a set, we had Journey Together, just kept markets like, all right, I'm going to ignore that. I'm going to keep focused on Prismatic. I'm going to look forward to Destined Rivals. It's almost like we need an economic headwind. I don't want to say we need it. I don't want that, but that's the only thing that would move the needle here. And again, we've even had the confidence in the market is so high. Like, look what happened with Surging Sparks, ETBs, right? That flood that hit from Costco, right? And we still have, there's a lot of product hit. So look at this chart. This is what's surprising. So we're still at $73. This is how strong the market is. So we saw that we saw that price come back. Absolute buying opportunity, hands down. This is. If you're gonna spec on ETBs, this is the one to spec on, especially at this entry price, right? Yeah, I wish it was lower. It's still $70 for an ETB, but it's got Pikachu on it. It's Surging Sparks. That's a phenomenal looking box. That's going to do really well long term. And this is look at how many buyers come into this market. That's the strength of the market. So if you're looking at that. Yeah, it just is how many people are ready to jump in when that price pulls back. It wasn't enough to drive the price back up, but Sarge, I feel in my bones we're going to see a noticeable change in the market soon. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not seeing a catalyst. What would it take? It would take, we have this mini block here that's first set, awesome. Second set, looking damn good. There's nothing there that's going to change things. We have, what's the next block that lines up with the video game. So they had to do this weird thing where they had to kind of fill the gap. Is it A to Z or something like that? Or Z to A? I can't remember. Someone in chat, let me know what it is. I'm not up on the IP as much as some people, but I'm not seeing anything that's going to cool the market. I thought with going back to what I was originally talking about, I thought if we had some pullback in products like this is a like crash, right? To go from $110 down to $70, that's a crash in one specific product. But what we didn't see is spillover to the rest of the market. It was isolated to this. Not only was it isolated to this product, people are jumping in and seeing the opportunity. That's how strong the market is. We saw booster bundles for Prismatic Evolutions. We saw a ton of them. We've seen a ton of them. And it's just the market doesn't care. So we saw that little bit of a dip, right? This was when, what was it? Was it Pokemon Center? I can't remember what it was. But we had a huge influx of these hit the market, and it just shrugged it off. 6% drop in a month. So we've seen it's helped depress the price, but it hasn't crashed anything. The market's just so strong. Look at, and again, we see the dip in price. We see buyers flood in. You saw 151 for how long? 151 was, let's see here, the bundles. It's been like, I've been watching these damn bundles for the longest time. Look how much that cleared up. This was up to 10,000 listed current quantity on TCG Player. Look how much it's dried up. People losing their minds, just wanting its complete FOMO. $100 bundles. The Pokemon Company did, remember, if you were around 6 months ago, 8 months ago, how frequently those came into stock. Constantly. Like, if you missed out on that, that is completely on you. It's completely on. That was even before, like, the bots were really cooking, right? Really cooking. You had ample opportunity. I was picking them up constantly. And that's crazy. Regular ETBs, $400. We're still right at about 1,000 on the Pokemon Center ETBs. Crazy. So you can see, like Prismatic's going to follow, maybe not exactly in the footsteps of 151, but it's going to perform like that. Like, the Pokemon Company's going to keep trying to throw water on the fire, so to speak. I just don't think they just can't. They tried with 151 and they never could. And I think, should I say the spigot is off? The reprint spigot is off? I think it's close, right? It has to be. When was the last time I saw anything for 151? We've maybe a little bit of Blooming Waters in the wild, but it's pretty much done at this point. So that already has run away from us. It's going to continue. Those bundles are going to be, I mean, we're going to have $200 bundles. Crazy. Pokepander missed mega drops at Big Box, walked into Dollar General, picked up 2 dozen Paldea Evolved sleeve. Good day. That's a fantastic day. Kudos, my dude. Did you rip any? Did you go after the magic card? Paldea Evolved sleeve. What are those? Those are going to be $10 a pop, right? Excellent pickup. Very, very nice. Sarge, I've definitely become a lot more careful with what I buy lately. So many newer products. Yeah. Myself too. You know, it all comes down to how much money you have to spend, right? If you're throwing thousands at this, you're never going to buy MSRP. There's no option to scale MSRP purchasing at that volume. So you're buying, you have to go to secondary market and pick it up at some price, right? I'm just a smaller time guy. I'm picking up a few booster boxes here and there, a few ETBs here and there, and my game is consistency. So I can easily, again, use a service like Sleeved and just pick it up at MSRP. I can just wait for MSRP opportunities. That soaks up, that burns most of my available capital every month. So that's never an issue. So I think that could be a good video topic to talk about how, again, if you get thousands to spend, your approach to the market has to be different versus like Pokepainter here just dropped by and dropped in Dollar General and picked up 2 dozen Paldea Evolved sleeved booster packs, which from a performance standpoint, like from a growth standpoint, it's going to do as well or better than the booster box. It's just the amount of money growth is lower, right? The percentage gains are going to be there. So how you can collect, how you can invest is as individualized as the individual person. There's many ways to do this. There's many different products to buy. There's many different ways. Like, people are like, hey, it's booster boxes or bust. That used to be the case. Sword and Shield, that was the case. It was, you had to buy booster boxes to see appreciable gains because the ETBs were so commonplace. They were so heavily printed. And now that's not the case. That's just not the case. ETBs are now I don't want to call it a premium product, but you can see the hierarchy. You get the collector box, which is the Pokemon Center box. You have the booster box. ETBs, the bundles is now the cheap product, right? The ETB is cherished. It's crazy how it just changes. So there's nothing wrong with picking up an ETB. They store great. They look great. They display better than booster boxes. The artwork is far better than the booster boxes, right? And I don't want to call them, are they scarce? They're not really scarce, I guess, at the end of the day. But yeah, this market is completely, I shouldn't say unpredictable, because it's predictable by now. It really is. There's nothing to stop this. There's nothing to stop it. The only crazy part, again, is seeing like the Paldea Evolved booster boxes go toe-to-toe with some of the boxes in Sword and Shield. But I guess that's not that crazy. From a time standpoint, the time difference between when Sword and Shield ended and when Paldea Evolved came out, like, we're so far along. We're out, right? We're out of Scarlet and Violet. So, Barb, I really hope they reprint Destined Rivals booster boxes. They will. But is it going to do anything to the market? No, I don't think so. If Surging Sparks had 1,100 boxes listed today. It has 1,000 boxes listed today and can be $300. What do you think it would take from a reprint standpoint to bring Destined Rivals booster boxes down? Holy crap, they're 450. 82% return. This is crazy. You look away from the market for a couple of days and it does stuff like this. So remember, I don't know what to call this, but if you had, say you had a release day dump, that kind of volume of booster boxes hit the market for Destined Rivals tomorrow. Do you see it go below $200 again? No. The amount of buyers who would jump in like crazy if this hit $300 a box again, because you've already proven out the $450 price point. So a regression in price when you've already hit that high is confidence inducing itself. So you hit $300 again and those are going to be gone. Those are going to be gone tomorrow. So this is quickly running away from us. Does that mean I'm going to jump in and buy and spend $450 on a booster box? No. Again, that's a good chunk of my allowance of Pokemon, purchasing for the month. So again, I'm still looking at MSRP. I'm okay buying bundles and ETBs as they come up on Target, again, using sleeved. So yes, my personal rule is all MSRP with one of the paid groups to get alerts. The only stuff I get secondary are items out of print or items like the Prismatic SPC that sold out fast and impossible to get. Yeah. That's a great way to put it. Where's our SPC drop again for Prismatic? Are they? I was expecting to get another one of those, and I'm not saying we won't, but I talked about this previously. Do you wait on the Prismatic SPC? That was one I was almost pretty confident to go to the secondary market and pick it up for 200 because I didn't want to miss out. I was lucky. I loaded up on those. I think I got 5 or 6 of them. So I'm very happy with that. Other than the storage space requirements, but. Yeah, for a long time, you could make a lot of money buying MSRP product and then spending as booster boxes started to get close to that MSRP, as they started to age a bit, you just start snatching them up right before they kind of got out of that reprint window. But again, you guys got a dollar cost average. You got a dollar cost average, and it all goes back to, again, how much you want to spend. Like Destined Rivals, if you were able to get some of the ETBs, the Pokemon Center ETBs, even at the secondary market price, you've done well. If the only thing you did was buy Pokemon Center ETBs, either through Pokemon Center, ideally, or even the secondary market, remember these hit under 200. So even if you bought one, I think it was a limit 1 or 2 on these, whatever it was, and then came to the secondary market and picked up a second one, your performance is substantial. 33% gain in the last month, 95% gain in the last 3 months, which is still better than the booster box. So again, that doesn't work necessarily for people who want to scale, people who got thousands of dollars. I mean, you technically could have come to the secondary market and bought almost infinite number at, sub 200. But again, if you just, it's the amount of people, there's opportunity. There's always opportunity. That to me, like, there's no reason not to get the Destined Rivals booster Pokemon Center ETB sub 200. That's just like, duh. There's no question that thing's going to perform well. And here we are. And again, so even if we get a Pokemon Center drop on these in the future, do you think we're going to hit under 200 again? No, ain't going to happen. Sarge actually ended up selling an SPC myself, bought it at 190. Thankfully, I have a few left. Absolutely beautiful box. No question that's going to be worth a bunch of money someday. It's prismatic. It's gorgeous. Excellent promo. Checks every box there is. Texas Fight, there was a whole lot more than that. People holding them, just waiting for them to go to 500, 600, 700. So this is the speculative bubble. I'm going to call it a bubble. I don't know if it's a bubble. I think it's a bubble. Just because it hasn't popped doesn't mean it's not a bubble. The amount of people who are here in this market because of channels like this, because of what we do, right? Because of the exposure we bring to this. I don't want to say it's a massive channel. It's not, but the amount of people that are here because it's expensive, because it's seen as you can't lose, because it just keeps going. Those people who are new, right? Those people who just have money. Maybe they come from crypto, wherever they're coming from. When if the market turns down widely, meaning not just one product, it's going to go bad quick, because those people, those paper hands, are going to be like, I'm out. I'm out. The market that couldn't lose is starting to lose. I'm done. And it's going to snowball fast, out of control, where people are fighting over each other because the demand is going to wane, right? So what happens, remember, we talk about, going face only here for a sec. We talk about supply and demand. Think of it like a bubble. You got demand, you got supply at the top, right? And it's weighted down, right? And you have demand at the bottom. And if there's a lot of demand and not enough supply to push down against it, what happens? The price is in the middle of those two bubbles. It pushes up on that price. If the demand inflates and pushes down, I'm sorry, the supply inflates and pushes down on the demand, it snowballs real quick. And all you're left with at that point, when the speculative people were like, crap, I'm out, because the price, the reason I bought it to begin with, which was that price, it was the fact I wanted to make money, and I could make money, and historically I could make money. If you remove that from the market, that's a lot of people exiting the market at the same time. And if you don't have enough buyers, organic demand, or smart money who's like, hey, this is an opportunity, I'm going to deploy my capital, right? Which is a far fewer number of people, far fewer number of dollars. If you don't have enough of that to buoy against that supply, that price is going to drop quite quick. So again, we've seen isolated instances of that. Surging sparks, booster ETBs, right? But we had so many buyers flood back in, it didn't matter. It just didn't matter. But you can see a little inkling of that, right? People were like stepping over each other, adjusting price, like, crap, I'm out. You got scalpers, spotters, right? People were like, people talk and glorify botters. There is a very specific margin that botters have to be at, and margin and volume to make it work. And if they could easily get stuck with, I guarantee you, there's surging spark, the surging people, botters who bought surging sparks who get stuck with product and have it. I mean, $73. If you're buying it at $60, there's no margin there. With fees on TCG Player, eBay, I don't care where, there's no margin. You could easily be upside down on that. And there's costs to running bots. There's actually significant costs. I've wanted to do a bot video for a while, but I'm like, I'm doubting myself on the information because I think it's going to be a controversial video maybe, but there's costs there. It's not, if it was that easy, everyone would be doing it. There's a lot of scale. There's a lot of account grooming that you have to do. There's a lot of things there. So yes, I spent about 260 a few days ago before it jumped to over 300. Which box are you talking about? You're talking about Destined Rivals? Or Rudy had a video a couple days ago, hinted he was putting together a large position in Prismatic SPC. He didn't say exact Prismatic product, but from what he said, it's the SPC. It's a great product. That's again, like I just, the only concern would be supply. We haven't seen a massive supply. I would expect to get another drop of those at some point. I wouldn't be surprised, and that's a buying opportunity. That's absolutely buying. It's Prismatic, beautiful box, great promo. If you haven't opened an SPC, it's a cool opening experience. It really is. It's special. It's really special. And so I think those are just easy buys. That's where I just, like, I tell people, keep some money on the side. You never know when you're gonna have opportunities like that. But that's what you want to be in. You want to be choosy. Have some money set aside. Oh, you're talking about the Prismatic SPC. Yeah. So that one I didn't even realize was at 300. It's over 300. Holy crap. Like, I pull data on this stuff and I look at it, and it's still, it moves so damn, wow, yeah. Holy moly. Those dried up quick. Just look at that purchasing though. Wow. Almost 1,000 of them sold in one day. You're not seeing what I'm seeing. I gotta go back to TCG Player. Sorry, guys. Ooh, yeah, $300. Yeah, so I was, we had, again, I'm gonna plug Sleeved. There was a bypass link that Sleeve had posted when these dropped at Walmart. This was before all the botters had figured everything out at Walmart, and I loaded up on these. I loaded up. That was an easy buy. Not cheap. They were still, I think, $110. Like, it's not, but I mean, triple your money. There are worse ways to go. But that's where, like, I guess there's still opportunity out there. You just gotta, people, again, you get people spouting off online, just buy Destined Rivals at 450. Like, yeah, I guess you can if you really just don't care and don't want to do any research. You can, but at that point, what are you doing? Like, just go buy S&P 500 index funds. Like, if you really don't care and you just want to auto buy stuff, like, what are you doing? Part of the fun for me is this, like, finding avenues to get product at cheap, and then remembering, like, there's a dopamine hit of buying 6 SPC ETBs on Walmart on their drop because we had a bypass link and just loading up. Like, that's cool. I'll always remember that. That's part of the fun. That's part of the fun for me anyway. But Basic Energy, hope you've been well, man. Missed your videos the past couple weeks. These Twilight and Surging ETBs are interesting right now. $75 a piece, which puts them at the lowest ETB booster box ratio of SV. Hey, Basic, yeah, thanks for the kind words. Appreciate it. This is kind of my, I don't know if I'm calling my return. I don't know if I'll get to daily videos right away. We're going to try to ramp back up. I'm going to try to go every other day. I didn't post a video today. We're doing live. First time going live in quite a while, so appreciate everyone being in chat. If you haven't hit that like button, that would help. How many people we got in chat? 29. That's pretty good. Friday night. Yeah, thanks for your kind words. Yeah, the Twilight ETBs and Surging ETBs it is interesting. The Surging ETBs are an auto buy. If you got the money, just keep buying those. There's no question. I mean, you're seeing what's happening in Surging Sparks booster boxes with that much supply in the market. We're going to continue to see Surging ETBs, I'm sure, but $70, like, what's your downside risk versus your upside risk? We've already proven out that they can hit $100 at Surging Sparks. Fantastic set, beautiful box, great promo. That Magneton promo is beautiful. That seems like a no-brainer to me. Just back the truck up, keep buying those. Like, that, there's opportunity right now out in the secondary market without having to use any service whatsoever. So, like, I make a YouTube channel trying to, you know, show people ins and outs and stuff, but again, just if most people just stop and on a piece of paper, pros and cons of buying a product, like, you can increase your returns. That's where the fun is. That's right. Again, otherwise just buy index funds. Totally agree. It's like treasure hunting. No better feeling than finding great product MSRP than an instant double your money. It's awesome. It's awesome. Or stumbling at an LGS and finding you know, product, or Walmart or Target and finding product at cheap. I remember I've talked about it fondly on the channel. It was Evolving Skies sleeved packs. I've talked about this many times, so if you've heard the story, I apologize. My local grocery store, this was when they were about $8-9 a pack, so we already started to see them, and that was, you know, sleeved packs, right? There was many hundreds, possibly thousands of them on the market. Evolving Skies was doing its thing. It was starting to truck along, and I'm like, oh, $5 a pop. Like, there's some margin there. Not immediate margin. That's a lot of people back then would have might have turned away at that, right? Nah, I can't flip it. I can't make money, right? I loaded up. I got hundreds of them. And I went, I didn't pick every single one of them up. Imagine that's the only, like, the regret part, the reverse FOMO, I call it. Or I guess it is FOMO. It's FOMO in a different form, right? The regret, the looking, you know, back with 2020 vision and the regret. I left some there. And obviously today I'd be like, I'd scream back at my old self, grab every single one of them, $5 and turn into, what are they, $40 now? $50? I wouldn't be surprised, right? Crazy. And in a couple years, is it even a couple years? Let's check on that. But I had to, that was when I didn't fully trust my gut. Like, I should have picked up every single one of them. I was like, you know what? It's still a lot of money. I got hundreds of them, so it was a lot of money. I should have grabbed every single one of them. There's no question. Hands down. $56. Wow. Yeah, that's some good money. And these move. You sell them in lots on eBay. That's where you got to trust your gut. If you've been doing anything in life long enough, eventually, like when you're first starting out, yeah, of course you can't trust your gut. You don't have wisdom, right? But eventually you gotta go with it, and you gotta go with something. Login, trying to figure out if that's viable. Let's see. Let's read you earlier here. I joined the dark side recently. Some product is definitely easier to hit than others. I can now check things out and people want. Are you saying botting? Are you talking about bots? PokePainter, totally agree. It's like treasure. Yeah, we went over that. Was this grocery store Publix? No, it wasn't. It was Stop and Shop. And what I should have done, I should have grabbed every single one because they were on an end cap, and I should have asked an employee, "What do you got in the back?" That's what I should have done. And I knew, like, so that was back when I was into it, but I wasn't as in tune with what the individual cards were doing, right? So that's a whole different subset. Sealed is a thing. It's driven by singles, right? But it does its own thing too. And if I had been more in tune on the single side of things, I would have, which I am now. I very much trust my gut, saying if I like a set, I did this with Surging Sparks before the market blew up on it. When I was getting $100 booster boxes on Surging Sparks, I'm like, yeah, that looks good. It looks good to me. I trust my gut now. I'm going to back the truck up, and I loaded up on Surging Sparks. And if I had been more in tune with Evolving Skies, I would have just like, I need everything you have, and gone all in. But again, I'm still very, very, very happy that holy crap, the market price is 56. The lowest listed now is 80. Holy crap. Yeah, that was a good buy. Only 9 listings too. These are drying up. Like, is there a market for me to check out for others who can get nothing at exactly what it cost me? I've been churning new credit card offers, so it's subsidizing my collection. Well, so how are you going to move that product? I mean, even shipping costs, depending what it is, it depends, right? Like, are you scaling Pokemon Center purchases? I know that's more difficult. It depends what the margins are. There could be a service, but then you got to deal with shipping the product to people. You got to deal with how do you collect payment. So there could be, I mean, certainly some friends you could help out for sure. Yeah, Evolving Skies market's just nuts. That's crazy. All right, what are we talking next? Chat, you're in the driver's seat. Where are we looking at next? Where are we going on TCG Player? We're going back to Mega Evolutions. We looked at Journey together. Rudy did a video today on Paradox Rift, which I have been talking about this set for a while. I think it's a phenomenal set. Let's go to PokeData here so we can see the cards. Much better to look at cards at PokeData here. This is a much prettier website. This is a great set. This is a great set. You got so many good cards. The Groudon, like, it doesn't have that massive chase, but I've said this before. Like, that is part of the recipe for being a really expensive box and leading the charge and being the best of breed is, yes, you need a really good chase card. You need a Magikarp. You need a Greninja. You need something like that. This doesn't have that. But what this does have is so many good, cheaper cards. Even now, even at these prices that are up. The Steelix is a great card. I pulled that one. Goldengo I have in my collection. There's so many really good cards, cheaper cards. This Loudred, it's a gorgeous card, beautiful colors. You don't just, it's a beautiful set to open. You don't have that chase, so it's never going to be ripped like an Evolving Skies or like a Paldea Evolved. It's never going to be ripped like that, but it's such an enjoyable set. I really, really, truly love this set. And so to see it at $300 booster box, very, very happy to see that. Again, not to toot my own horn, I was picking these up at 80 bucks a pop on TikTok. Like, it was, I think there was one point I was buying like a box a day, just with, not even with coupons. It was just getting them for cheap. I think 90 bucks a box without coupons. So this is an actual buyout here, it seems. But this is a great set. Barb, do you feel the same for Temporal? Yes, I do. I think they are actually sister sets, I call them. I think Paradox edges out Temporal for me. Let's look at the cards on Temporal. But they are very much sister sets. These were the two I was buying all the freaking time. I like the Groudon better. The Ghastly is a phenomenal card, though. That is an absolute phenomenal card. We also have heavy Gengar presence here, which is always going to be, I'm always going to love. So I like the chase better in Paradox. Temporal's got some really good cards. The Sawbuck and Deerling, my son has the two connected up. So I think a few more powerful cards from an artwork standpoint. That Ghastly, like, I wouldn't be shocked if that was #1 at one point. Iron Crown, two really good Gengars, or a Gengar and a Morty's Conviction. Really good set. And again, it's just like how did like, it was so easy just to look at it and say 90 bucks a box. This looks really good to me. Like, I'm not seeing anything bad about it. Like, that's why I didn't get Obsidian Flames. I didn't load up. I got like 2 booster boxes of Obsidian Flames. It didn't check me with me. And granted, it's expensive now, but I've made other, it's not like a lost opportunity there. I've put that money into other things that have grown. I have to have some, you have to have some kind of scruples, some kind of method to purchasing other than just, again, listening to me, right? You can listen to me, you can listen to all the PokeTubers, read Reddit, and use that to inform your decisions. But it's, again, this all goes back to how much money you have. If you got thousands you're throwing at this, yeah, you have to, you buy just booster boxes. You need to scale, and you're going to buy best of breed if you scale. So this is a fantastic set. And you know, there's so, the opportunity is out there, but it's drying up too in a lot of ways, where there's just fewer booster boxes. Like, what are you going for booster boxes now? You're going to go to Journey together? It's expensive now. Stellar Crown. Let's look at Stellar Crown, because Stellar Crown got too expensive. It got ahead of its skis, I would say, for a while. It was a little too expensive for what you got. $260. Okay, so Stellar Crown was sitting about $250 for a while. And I was saying, you know what? It's a little pricey. Yeah, we were sitting about $220, $260 for a while. I think there's opportunity here. It's not my favorite set. Okay, let me pose this question. Would you grab Stellar Crown or Journey together? Ugh. That Squirtle and Bulbasaur absolutely carry this entire freaking set. Outside of maybe the Joltik. Damn, that carries the set right there. Journey's got a little bit more. Like, there's some cards here, like the Dot Spun and the Hydra Apple, just it doesn't do it for me. It really doesn't. But the Squirtle and the Bulbasaur make up for it. It really does make up for it. So I think there could be opportunity there. I think it's kind of stayed around that 250 mark. The supply is low, and we haven't seen reprints on this. So, Barb Journey, okay. I would grab both. Yeah, I mean, at these prices, okay, here's another question. Paldea Evolved Booster Box or a Stellar Crown and a Journey for the same price? That's an interesting one. That's an interesting one. These are the questions I ask myself. But I can tell you, my booster box purchasing has gone way down. Way down. I've just been so successful. Again, Pokemon Center boxes, buying Pokemon Center boxes in the secondary market. There's opportunity. Let's see. Dug in. Let's see. Enhanced booster boxes, $240 per mega. Are you advertising here, buddy? Hit me up at PokeMarketLab@gmail.com if you're actually want to work together. What's your name? Niwamak? It's like Brilliant Stars, Astral Radiance, Chilling Rain. That's a great way to put it. That's a great way to put it. And look what happened there. Although Chilling Rain, I would say, is part of the Four Horsemen. Astral Radiance was an underdog for a long time. That's another one. I'm going to toot my own horn. I'm just going to, just for reference, like, I was paying $120 for booster boxes when no one wanted them. I actually bought a bunch locally off of someone. Really good set. Solid. I shouldn't say good. It's a solid set. Like you said, it's kind of a Stellar Crown situation, that mid-tier, but that you're going to have sets like that. And that's often where the opportunity lies, because they're ignored for so long. Paldea is best in breed. Paldea is, I've always had a differing opinion on Paldea. It's a good set. Paldea is in the Magikarp for me. The Tyranitar is okay. This Miss Magus, I love. I absolutely love that card. The way the border, like the fact that you have that kind of border treatment on that, I love that card. That's an absolute steal for $20. I don't have one. I should get one. This is the Magikarp for me. And I just, again, this is my subjective opinion. I think I've said this before as much on my channel. I would rather be in some Sword and Shield for a bit more money. This is just, the Magikarp's not enough for me. That's just my opinion. I'm obviously out of lockstep with the market. For this price, for what we're approaching a $500 booster box, I'd probably rather pick up a couple Paradox. I know that's probably sounds nuts, but Brilliant Stars, great set. Julio Geraldo, chat, what's a better long-term hold? Brilliant Stars or Paldea Evolved booster box at today's prices? Okay, that's a good question. I would probably say Paldea Evolved, or to give be given that choice. Oh, remember, we got the trainer gallery. That always throws things off. Again, that's why PokeData.io. I'm not sponsored or anything, but it's just a good site. Yeah, you know what? I don't know. I would rather have Brilliant Stars. I'd rather have Brilliant Stars. That Charizard is excellent. So this is what I was talking about with nostalgia. Like Mega. So you can see here, actually, he's fighting. He's fighting Venusaur in this one? Yeah, so Charizard is fighting Venusaur, and this is what I like. This is nostalgic to me. It's like a comic book scene. That's why I like Mega Evolution. We're back to that. This is a really solid set. That's an awesome Mimikyu. Great Sylveon. Another Mimikyu. Yeah, I forgot how good Brilliant Stars is. You get a Zekrom. That's a beautiful Zekrom. Jolteon. Yeah, this is a good set. You got a Eevee here. Man, I forgot how good this set is. Like, this to me, these seem undervalued. That Eevee at $12, that Zekrom at 13, Flareon at 15. That's a good looking set. It's just a different art style. Like, there's so many people, number one, that aren't looking at the art to begin with. They're just looking at the price. We've talked about that. It's just different. It's very, like, if you were to go back to, here's an interesting experience. Maybe another video we could do. So let's open Brilliant Stars. Let's compare artwork from eras. Sun and Moon, Cosmic Eclipse, generally seen as a good set. Let's look at artwork. I want to do an artwork comparison here. Yeah, the tag team artwork is, yeah, you can definitely see the shift from era to era. So you go from this, dare I say, anime style almost, tag team borders, which are, you get these hard lines, makes it impossible to get a centered card. And you go to this, like, that's an improvement. I mean, that's a big improvement. And then you go to, again, you go to a prismatic, and you are in just a completely different world from an artwork standpoint. Look at that difference. Massive difference. So you lose some people. You do. Fusion went from hated to number 2 in Sword and Shield, and again, that's the kind of stuff that just, like, that baffles me too, because Fusion Strike, it was never a bad set. I mean, it's one of the best cards, and it is the best. It has the best card for me personally in Sword and Shield, hands down. That was my white whale trying to find this Gengar VMAX. That's a gorgeous card. I should have bought it when it was 300. I was like, nah, I'll pull it eventually, right? No, of course not. It's not how it works. That's a good set. That's a beautiful set. I would say it's actually, from a price standpoint, that's actually pretty even. Like, you have that one chase, but you get some solid second and third cards here. Just full of Muse. Get a Gengar. Even this, you get the cheaper version, essentially, of that first card, right? For $60. I have one of those. That was my knockoff Willy Wonka Gengar. That's a great set. Yeah, it's like, again, I've said it before, the $80 Fusion Strike booster boxes. Like, but again, no one was paying attention. No one was looking at it from it seemed like it was trash because it was $80. That's what I want people to understand. Like, everything seems like it's gold today, regardless of whether it's actually good or not, because of the price. Back then, it was because of the price, it's seen as trash. And again, the amount of people, the people that could objectively, even though this is a subjective thing, like, can you look at Fusion Strike and tell me it sucks? That it was should have been $80 a box? No, I can't. That's why I bought it when it was $80 a box. It's like, again, for the one card alone, if it was just that Gengar, that's the chase that you need, right? And again, it's not just that card. There's plenty to love here. And that's where my concern is, because we don't have people who have been on the other side of this and experienced something like Fusion Strike being $80 a box. They don't know that's possible. VH, Fusion's overrated. It's your opinion. I don't agree. Even the set value doesn't agree with you. $1,900 set value in Sword and Shield. Actually really good, I think. Let's compare that. Sword and Shield. All right, let's look at Chilling Reign. Let's look at Lost Origin. Where are we at for set value in Lost Origin? $1,500. Lost Origins, it's Fusion Strikes number 2, right? Compared to Evolving Skies, then Lost Origin. So that's actually pretty good. Pretty good. Lost Origin, another phenomenal set. You got the Giratina, which is, I prefer that over the Magikarp. Still a little busy for me. The Aerodactyl, second place, doesn't do it. But you got the Pikachu VMAX, Pikachu. That Gengar is an awesome card. That Gengar where, you know, there's some illicit things going on there. This is a great set. Great set. Basic, this is a good question. If you could design your own set, what 3 Pokemon would you give an SIR? All Gengars. It would be all Gengars. And we would if I was designing, that was a great question, by the way, thank you. Yeah, I would bring the, what's the Chinese 151 set? I can't remember which one it is. The naming of those sets and the cadence of those is odd, but you know which one I'm talking about. The Gengar Pikachu. That's worth a whole bunch of money now. By my way, we bring that over to the English side. The market would absolutely implode. It would be all Gengars. I just love Gengar. Gengar, who else would I do? What else do I like? I'm focused on Gengar right now. I kind of shift around. But that's my jam right now. I don't think we've ever had as many great sets in rotation at the same time as we do right now. Great time to be here. Yeah, it really is. There's, I mean, again, what do you get to think of? Like, what stinkers? Like, even Journey Together, like, there's plenty to still love about that set. Black Belt White Flare was not quite Destined Rivals, still really, really good. And it's just, and Prismatic, again, just is the set to beat. That's the next 151. And then before that, let's see here. Temporal Forces, not Temporal, Twilight. Twilight is, Stellar Crown. Surging Sparks was phenomenal. Surging Sparks, I still think is almost underrated. So many good cards there. Hydreigon, Pikachu EX. I remember pulling one of those out of a ETB. Saraledge, Skarmory, really solid set. Again, just tons of really good IRs at all kinds of prices. There's all kinds of stuff to love here. It's a great set. It's a great set to open. Again, you got both. You got the Chase. You have a couple. You have it's not Chase or Bust. You got Latias. You got Melodic. You got plenty of triple figure cards. But then again, you got plenty of step down. It's not just that Chase card. The set value has taken a massive hit in Surging Sparks because of the supply. So there's been, for some reason, a lot more supply on Surging Sparks. You saw how many 1,000 booster boxes still. The ETBs, like, this is where I struggle. Like, I don't understand where the calculus comes in from the Pokemon centers, from the Pokemon companies, boardroom. Like, okay, we're going to go crazy deep on Surging Sparks. Or again, keep in mind, right, everyone thinks they're snapping their fingers and printing stuff. This stuff takes time. So maybe there's still just the market's still crazy still, that there's still a lag time. Like they're dealing with information that's 6 months old at this point still, and making decisions on that. So maybe they're going to give that treatment to other things. I don't know. But again, suffice to say, the things in the market that you see in Scarlet and Violet right now, the prices you see, I don't think there's anything the Pokemon Company can do to truly address all of it. There's nothing. So maybe they're picking and choosing and saying, you know what, Surging Sparks, we're going to try and make available. We're going to try our darndest to make available, and we're going to leave Paldean Fates on the table. We're going to leave it alone. Like, dude, this is crazy. This is like a conspiracy theory at this point, with how little of this product we got. And then we get tech sticker collections, blisters. Like, what the hell is that? Like, we haven't seen ETBs in freaking forever. And we get tech sticker collections. And they saw it instantly. There's a pack of 3 of them here for $120. The regular ETB is $300. So this is one. There's nothing they can do. So the Bubble Mew has just taken it and run with it. There's so much demand there, and that demand flows backwards, right, through the seal product. There's nothing they can do to address this price. I'm sorry, there's nothing. If you cut this price in half, again, how many more buyers are into the market? It's not just this one's expensive because it's expensive. You know what I mean, right? There's speculation here, but you get the Bubble Mew backing it up. The Bubble Mew is that backstop. Never mind all the shinies, the baby shinies, right? So there's nothing they can do on this set. There's nothing. Have some Paldean Fates. I'm stupid and did not pick up the Paldean Fates Pokemon Center ETB on release day, and I did not pick it up again. This is where my wisdom fails, and I toot my own horn, and then I do stupid things like this. So I passed. I saw this in LGS recently for a little bit of discount versus the market. My local LGS I like to support. They do market pricing, but they give you a little bit of a discount, $300. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I saw what was happening with regular ETBs. Like, this is going to be expensive. Great promo, great looking box, Bubble Mew, all that. And I didn't get it. So that's what happens. Paldean Fates, so many what? So many. We didn't have so many. I wish we had so many. That was another one. I was buying them at $40 a pop. I'm like, this is a good set. That was a really fun set to open. That was a really good set. I never pulled a Bubble Mew. I pulled so many baby shinies. Those are great. I love those. New listers under kit get bought up, and then previous listings get raised price in some cases. Let's see what else here. Just a bonkers market. But so yeah, so just going back to Scarlet and Violet, there's some stuff that's we're never gonna see come down. Never. Let's look at Twilight. Twilight Masquerade. Let's look at those ETBs. $68. Yeah, those are a buy. It's not super fan of the promo, not a super fan of the box, but it's Twilight. Twilight's really good. That's a buy. I mean, certainly shore up that's dollar cost average, right? This is a perfect example of dollar cost average. You have an opportunity to get something fairly close to MSRP, do it. And it's already proven its worth, right? We hit up $100. Yep. Easy. All right, and let's look at booster box prices, $320. Let's look at the set here. I've not looked at Twilight in a while. Twilight, to me, was a little top-heavy on the chase. Let's see if I still feel that way. Greninja, beautiful card. That Eevee is a fantastic card. That's a really good-looking card. Tatsuguri. That's another one. I just love that. Yeah, there's some good stuff here. This isn't... It's a little too top heavy on the Greninja. Like I'm not a huge trainer guy. But yeah, this looks good. It's a good set. All right, what else are we looking at? You guys are driving. I bought Twilight and Poke Center back in the day due to your advice. Oh, I appreciate it. That and Seeing Skyboxes. Yeah. Crown Zenith. Okay. So you guys, how did I not? I should have led with Crown Zenith. Yeah. Finally, over $200 on the regular ETBs. See you later. That's a great set. That's a great set. You know, the thing is, like, I think at some point, because of this is an interesting concept. At some point, the amount of people that are exposed to Scarlet and Violet, both organically, just ripping, right, the whole rip and ship community, and just people being sucked into the market because it's really good artwork. It's really good artwork. Prismatic is on a whole different universe, right? There's just so many more people in Scarlet and Violet than there will have been in Sword and Shield. And even Sword and Shield was massive. And so we're eventually going to get to a point where there's a disconnect. There's absolutely a disconnect from an artwork standpoint, Sword and Shield to Scarlet and Violet. And so, you know, I keep pumping Sword and Shield, and I want you to have some exposure, specifically on ETBs, but we could get to a point where Scarlet and Violet, because of the demand, because there's just more people in the market, even long term, even from a nostalgia standpoint, where it does things that Sword and Shield will never do. It's possible. But I worry, remember, on the flip side of that, we got to have yin and yang here when we're talking about this stuff. It's not all organic demand. Most of the demand, I would say right now, is speculative. And it's not the number of people doing these things, it's the amount of money. Kids don't go in and buy a case of ETBs or case of booster boxes. Whales do, right? So the spend, the demographic of spend, who is control of that spend is firmly in the speculator's hand. They have the weight to throw around. But I would argue again, my concern, and this isn't necessarily actionable. My concern is if you're holding long term, you have to have a buyer at the other end of this. 5 years down the road, if you want to, you know, the stuff you look at Sword and Shield, and that's just done massively well, 10 extra money. The Fusion Strike booster box at $80, now $1,000. if you want it, it'll tell you in 5 years how much of the speculators are going to still be holding on to product. Speculators who haven't done this before, who have money, but not the wisdom. And again, these aren't things that we can't predict. These are just the things that tell me maybe I shouldn't be buying Destined Rivals at 450. But then 3 months from that, then you know, I'm proven wrong. So it's, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. This is where I go back to dollar cost averaging. Just MSRP, dollar cost averaging, grab one at that price and wait for an opportunity. There's always going to be other opportunity. That's the one thing the people don't get. Like, how many people back in Sword and Shield FOMO'd into things, FOMO'd into, you know, Evolving Skies. Like, there's never going to be another opportunity like this. Like, yes, there is. There's going to be another set. There's going to be another era. There's going to be another MSRP opportunity. There's always going to be opportunities. Max VR Gaming. Hey, what's up? What is up? Yeah, Sea and Sky boxes were fantastic. Pokemon Center ETBs, Ground Zenith. These are great. I got a couple of these. Got 38 people in stream. That's pretty good. With Sea and Sky on the dumps, I was buying from resellers and selling as an imaged listing on TCG Player under booster bundles. That was a solid one for me. Yep. They suck to store long term. They suck. They're huge. All that stuff. And no one, oh man, no one. I gotta do a video on that and how to store those. There's a few things you can do to mitigate it, but I was having, so if you know the premium boxes, I was storing them face to face because I wanted to keep the dust off of the plastic portion. And I was pulling one out because I sold one, and that cheap ass cardboard caught on the other one and ripped. They suck to store. They really do. If you can break them down and you have a way of making money off of that, excuse me, that's the way to go. Sorry, I've been talking for a while. Not used to this. Not used to this. Sea and Sky, let's look at those. Those are gone now, right? And I haven't seen those in a while. Almost $200. Holy crap. They suck to ship too, obviously. It's crazy because the DR packs aren't very hard to get, but the booster boxes are like nowhere now for everything. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, the booster boxes are a premium product for sure. I would still, and we can prove this out. I have proven this out. The Pokemon Center UTBs, even secondary market prices, still almost always outperform booster boxes. Those are going to do, man, those are going to do some crazy things. Like, it was always, okay, this is what's weird. So booster boxes were always considered the best because of the number of packs. That is what drove that, right? It wasn't, and scarcity, right? Compared to ETBs, they were scarce, right? And now you have a situation where the pack value be damned. The efficiency of how many of cost per pack be damned. Scarcity and those damn promos. It's crazy. Let's look at some of those Pokemon Center boxes. Let's see here. Yeah, so we're pushing. So Obsidian Flames, did that one come down? It just leveled off. I got one of those. Prize possession. Yeah, even prismatic, man. Yeah. I mean, that's another one where like, how many people waited? There's things you wait on, and there's things you don't. Like, you're just not going to get another opportunity in Pokemon Center boxes where this isn't just a normal reprint thing, right? So again, like, we have to reevaluate how we think about stuff too. So now this is a $400 box. Do you pick one up at $400? What else can I do with 400? That's the question to ask yourself. What else can I do with 400 soon? That's the question. Black Bolt, White Flare. I think these are, I think specifically that White Flare box, Pokemon Center. There's a chance we get a we get a reprint of these. There's a chance. It's a good box. Although the promos for Black Bolt, White Flare ATVs suck, I think. Tornadus and Thunderous, right? I bought an open booster box case of DR for 2,000. I'm so happy I pulled the trigger on that. Yes. A great one. Open meaning just unsealed, right? Yeah, there's still opportunity here. Surging Sparks Pokemon Center boxes we talked about not long ago. I think we talked about them when they were about 200. That's an easy one. Again, now you got Magneton's a great promo to begin with. I think was underpriced when I was looking at it. We'll look at that in a second here. Again, Pikachu on the box, Pokemon Center exclusive, stamp promo, all those things. Easy peasy. Oh, yeah, we're up on that promo. I would say the regular version of this. Let's see. Near mint. Yeah, so I'm guessing we're seeing supply hit the market here because of the Surging Sparks influx of ETBs. That's a great looking promo. That's a great card. That's Shinji Kanda, right? Is that Shinji Kanda? It is. Definitely is. Chat, help me out. Shinji Kanda? I think it is. Christopher White, I got my PC TVs from Pokemon Center today and I had one little rip. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. That sucks. I don't know if you reached out to support. I've had that happen in the past. They haven't done anything if it doesn't affect the cards in the box. I would still hold on to it. I have sold both booster boxes and ETBs with rips in them. You're going to take a hit. If you're holding on to it long term, you're going to take less of a hit than you think. I've actually sold some Fusion Strike boxes that had a cut literally through the plastic in the top. Cards were unaffected, packs were unaffected. I maybe took a 5% hit. It was not as much. This was on the up and up, like Fusion Strike was going up, so it seemed like a steal, even a 5% discount versus the market. But hold on to it. You could rip it. I still think you're going to be up. You're going to be up. You're going to outperform most things, even if you keep it sealed with a rip. And then we get the stamped promo Magneton. This is up. Ooh, that's up big. That's a beautiful card. Stamp, man, that stamp does magical things. Let's go back to ETBs here. Poke Painter Bummer Chris got mine today. It was an anxious opening to see the condition. You know what? I should look at mine. I got them. Actually, you know what? Here, look at it. See what the haul is. Let's go to face here. Excuse me, chat. Hold on 1 second. I want to rip these, pulling them out of the box. That would suck. So I'm not trying to gloat here. Just let's share let's bask in the glory of release day. So we got the booster box. The only booster box of Mega Evolution that I got, unfortunately. That's how it goes lately. And then let's check our PC ETVs. Oop, I hit the... This looks minty. No rips. Carnivore. Looking good, looking fire. And then this other one, the Choreo, I did not check yet. Let's see. Looking good. That is a handsome box. That definitely reminds me of Crown Zenith. Oop, sorry. Definitely reminds me of Crown Zenith. But it's good set. Good release day. Already bubble wrapped in the closet. Awesome. Thank yourself for doing something, not just putting it on a shelf, but thinking about how you're going to store it long term. A lot of people don't. All right, folks, I think we're going to wrap it up. Give me your last chats. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Thank you for being chat and hanging with me on a Friday night. I hope it was fun. If you've been a fan of the channel for a while and you stuck around, thank you. We're going to try to get back to some, our regularly scheduled programming, some more consistency. Maybe do some more live streams. This was pretty fun. This was fun. My voice is tanked though, at this point. But it's great. I love that, again, I'm back in the groove, excited for things again. Just had to get over some speed bumps. That's how life is. And I think we're gonna wrap it up, chat. Enjoy your Friday, the rest of your Friday night, and chillax. Enjoy your weekend. Remember, your time here on the planet's short. Enjoy